It's time now for the Peter Channel 11 o'clock news this late Monday night, August 8, 2016. Good evening, everybody. I am Peter Wiggins and I are late at 11 o'clock news and odds. Our top story of the 11th hour is GOP Senator Collins of Maine is among one of the 50 GOP senators are not voting for Donald Trump for president. Parents of 2 Americans killed in Benghazi. Attacks to Hillary Clinton. The airlines have suffered so many after the last few years, including Delta's on Monday, they are hardly news anymore. Emperor Akihito Japan spoke publicly about the possibility of his retirement for the first time in a televised address on Monday. A Chinese tourist in Germany who tried to report a stolen wallet ended up signing asylum application in the London refugee center for 12 days. While Western politicians and bureaucrats wearing in their hands, hardline jihadists and Salafists have seized an initiative in northern Syria. Guilford County Board of Elections in North Carolina okay early voter compromise. In Montgomery, Alabama's Court of the Judiciary said it could decide soon whether to remove the state's suspended Chief Justice from office and heir during Monday from both sides of his misconduct charges. Wilmington, North Carolina, a man who says he lied to the trial put away his teenage buddy for a murder he didn't commit. The 10-year-old son of the Kansas State legislature who was killed riding on the world's tallest motorcycle died from a neck injury, Kansas State police said on Monday. Warren Buffett just unloaded $195 million worth of weapons of mass destruction. The presides were the most widely observed and dependable annual meteor displays will peak during the overnight hours on Thursday, and then the morning of Friday, August 12th, and this year would have been the year marked in a spectacular show. NASA has created a camera that can film slow motion footage of boomer rocket engine with higher dynamic range than ever before. It's called the Higher Dynamic Range. Their X camera had X late last week with a range to release some. Quantum computers are largely hypothetical devices that can perform some calculations much more rapidly than conventional computers can. Wind farmers can reduce a country's ecological footprint. A 500-foot square area bombing is ground zero for the Zika virus. 6 years ago, embracing 18-minute TED talk, world reef scientist Jeremy Jackson had how we wrecked the ocean and talk. He detailed not only overfishing, global warming, various problems, pollution, and the damage of ocean ecosystems. Those so-called neglected tropical diseases are most parasitic infections that have very few treatments and affect some of the hardest hit communities. Music by LTD on Monday said experimental stem cell treatment led to significant improvements in symptoms of disease activity in patients whose rheumatoid arthritis have stopped being helped by the widely used biotech medicines. Backed by Mitt Romney's many men, newly minted presidential candidate, after conservative Evan McMillan appeared at one aim, stopping Donald Trump. Trump tries linked to Clinton, the Iranian scientist. Peter Channel News Time, 11:03. Taking a look at some local news from the Attleboro Sun Chronicle in Mansfield. Motorcycle was seriously injured on an accident with a vehicle on Interstate 95 early Monday night. The victim was taken in by 10 ambulance to Valentine Hospital, part of it with injuries at work. Believed to be left in the fire department said. Accident occurred about 6:40 p.m. on Interstate 95, south near North Attleboro. North Attleboro police traced the suspect in the toilet after 5 iPads from him aboard $4,000 from Walmart bought his gym t-shirt with the red staff on the back. North Attleboro police alleged a 35-year-old man exposed himself to the panhandle as he drove by the woman outside Walmart. Hydrogen fuel station proposal, Mansfield Stop and Shop. Attleboro, a 21-year-old man allegedly assaulted a police officer in 2 firefighters in an ambulance after he was arrested on drunk driving charges early Monday morning. Mansfield, a police officer on a routine patrol, was in the right place at the right time when she came upon a dumb message disturbance early Monday after hearing children crying out for help. Mansfield, if you're attending the event at the Xfinity Center, don't plan on bringing a backpack or handbag as Xfinity Center beefs up security for upcoming concerts. And take a look at New England Insurance. We have a 4-alarm fire at East 799 East 4th Street in downtown Boston. Peter Channel News Time is 11:04 on this late Monday night, and it's time for a traffic and transit report. Let's study off on the MBTA, where the Red Line Braintree branch experienced in Mondelez tomorrow due to early weekend truck work. Summer S was experienced in Mondelez and traffic on the commuter rail. It's looking good, and on the ferries they are looking good. Alright, take a look at some highways and byways of New England on this late Monday night. But taking that down in New York, 95 southbound side back to the New Rochelle stretch. Line Expressway westbound side back to around 678 Queens. Bell Parkway westbound side back to the Bronx stretch. Lincoln and Hall tunnels out. Looking good. 95. Looking good from the Bronx all the way out to New Jersey. Adam Gedak at 95 on the northbound side. Back to the Stanford stretch. Bird Parkway stopped from Greenwich and 7 to hit breaks again and ran the Fairfield stretch. 95 on the northbound side. Back to the New Haven stretch. Hit breaks again at 95 northbound from Old Saybrook to New Haven. And 84 westbound side is a little slow about 4 Route 8 in Waterbury, Connecticut. Atten, Western Massachusetts, 91 on the northbound side. Back to the Northampton stretch. Mass Bagger change at 91 in Chickpea. A little slow. Brickster Ferry, Little Slow to Conner Weaver Parkway and east up to New York. New York State 3 is back to from 89 Schenectady to 87 in Albany. 95 on the southbound side is back to Route 1 out in Sharon. 93 on the northbound side is backed up from the Somerville stretch. Route 1 on the southbound side is backed up around Route 16 out in Revere. 120 on the northbound side is backed up to the Beverly stretch. Route 3 on the northbound side it is backed up just about the Tewksbury stretch. Up north, 93 on the northbound side is backed up to the Loudon stretch. 93 on the southbound side is back to the Brunswick stretch, and 87 on the northbound side is backed up around Route 11 in Plattsburgh toward the Canadian border, and 15 on Route 15 is backed up after the U.S. border up in Southern Quebec headed towards Montreal. New York State Ferry westbound side is backed up before 490 southwest of Rochester, New York. Pennsylvania Interstate 81 is backed up around northeast of Harrisburg. How was the bar with the Philadelphia? Looking good. 295 and the Jersey Turnpike on the northbound side is backed up just before 276 up in Trenton, New Jersey. And highways and byways of Baltimore, Washington, D.C. are looking good, except on Route 15 and eastbound side backed up after the Capitol Beltway in Largo headed towards Annapolis. Peter Children's time, 11:06 on this late Monday night, and it's time for a weather report. And looking at the sky for a little bit, and we are seeing some clear skies at the 11th hour. Alright, looking at our current conditions here, it is 67 degrees, humidity of 78% with a dew point about 600 degrees. And Robert Brazil Rapidly at 30.06 inches, and it's calm. Looking at our current conditions around the region on this late Monday night, 11 hours, 79 degrees possible to get outside, 64 from Bedford and Beverly, 70 in Fitchburg, 66 in Worcester, 61 in Norwood, 72 in Taunton, 70 in New Bedford, 68 in Plymouth, 70 in Provincetown, 72 in Chatham, 68 in Falmouth, 68 in Murfreesboro, 66 in Nantucket, 72 degrees out of Providence, 70 in Buckeye, 72 in Mount Top, this lip, 75 in New York City, 77 in Bridgeport, New Haven, 70 in Grand Connecticut, 66 from Bergen, Waterbury, and Meriden, Connecticut, pair of 70s from Windsor to Hartford, 64 degrees in Springfield, 63 degrees in Athol, 61 degrees out in Northampton, 59 in Pittsfield, 70 in Albany, 63 in Star Springs, 64 degrees out in Brown, Vermont, 61 degrees Bennington, Vermont, it's 63 in Lebanon, Keenan, Jeff, Hampshire, pair of 70s out in Nashua, Manchester, Hampshire, 68 in Clark, Hampshire, 66 degrees at Left Corner, Hampshire, it is 66 degrees up in Port Maine, and 32 degrees up in Portsmouth, New Hampshire. Take a look at the surface map. It shows a staging front switching from the Idaho down to Nevada, and merged to the cold front from southern Idaho down through Wyoming, and merged to the staging front around the Dakotas with a parallel pressures in southern Idaho and the western Dakotas. Another stage front switching from the Fort Quarter region down to the Carolinas, the low pressure down in the Alabama Gulf Coast, and up front of mine with a low pressure from southern Nevada down to southeastern California, down to the Gulf of California, front of mine from north central coast of California. Followed from western Montana down for Idaho. Followed with a British coming down from Washington State. A cold front down from Montana. Merged to the warm front from southeast Saskatchewan down from Manitoba. Station front from Alberta down from Saskatchewan. Merged to the cold front from north central portions of Manitoba. Warm front switching in Northern Ontario. Merged to the station front from Quebec. Merged to the cold front from southern Quebec all the way up into northern Maine and out to New Brunswick. And we got a photo from Kentucky to Pennsylvania, a photo from the Gulf of Mexico, and a photo around the Bahamas. And we got high pressure ridges in western Colorado, and another ridge from Quebec, and off to Jersey, and a ridge from Nebraska down to the Great Lakes. It's 73 degrees out of Detroit, 75 in Pittsburgh, 73 in Washington, D.C. It's 80 in Atlanta, Georgia. It's 77 in Miami, Fort. It's 94 in Dallas, Texas. It's 85 in Brownsville, Texas. 76 in Kansas City, Missouri, and 76 in Minneapolis, St. Paul. Pair of 77 in Omaha, Chicago. 75 degrees in Great Falls, Montana. 69 in Seattle. 62 in San Francisco. It's 71 in Los Angeles. It's 102 in Las Vegas. 107 in Phoenix. It's 91 in Salt Lake State. 79 in Denver and Albuquerque, New Mexico. Alright. Look at that. the radar around the country on this late Monday night. We're seeing clusters of moisture of showers and thunderstorms switching from Virginia's down to the Gulf States and a heavy band of showers and storms from the Gulf States down for western and southern portions of Florida as part of the low pressure system. And showers and storms switching from northern Texas to Oklahoma and down for southern Colorado and Mexico down for northern portions of Mexico. And that's going to be our front for Wednesday and Friday and into the weekend. A couple of showers and storms from western South Dakota down for northwestern Nebraska. Not a rain shower switch from northwestern Washington State of Oregon and not for northeastern portions of Oregon and some Washington State and the western portions of Idaho and Atlanta. Clusters of showers and storms for British Columbia, down for Manitoba and Atlanta rain showers in Alaska. Take a look at our satellite loop shows line across from the Gulf States down for Florida, down to Cuba. Then across for the Carolinas at the sea. Then across from Mexico and stretching it up to the Rockies up to the Dakotas. Then across from West Montana down for the North Central Idaho down for western Wyoming and northern Utah. Then across from Oregon down to Washington State and from British Columbia all the way down to Ontario and down for northwestern Quebec and eastern portions of Ontario. Then across from eastern portions of Quebec and up in the northern extreme Quebec. Alright, let's take a look at what's going on in the tropics. Get it? What's going on in the tropics? At this 11th hour and nothing brewing in the Atlantic. And this is the latest on Tropical Storm Javier. 22 and a half to the north, 109.7 to the west. Master say winds 6 miles an hour. Movement northwest, 5 miles an hour. Alright, latest public advisory on Javier. It's weakened slightly while it moves slowly towards southern Baja California. Hurricane watch discontinued. The governor of Mexico discontinued the hurricane watch for the southern portion of Baja California Peninsula and tropical storm waters effect for San Evaristo de San Lazaro. At Tospo awarded the tropical storm watch effect for San Evaristo de Laredo, Cabo San Lazaro to Puerto San Andresio. For storm information, specific area, please monitor the product station by local national meteorological service. At 11 p.m. Eastern Time, which is 9 p.m. Mountain Time, the center of tropical storm Javier was located in latitude 22.5 to the north, or altitude 109.7 to the west. Javier is moving toward the northwest near 5 miles an hour. In this chill motion is expected to continue from Tuesday. The forecast directed the center of Javier will pass near over the southern tip of the Baja California tonight and will move into the west coast of Baja California on Tuesday. Reports of the anyway hurricane after the earthquake included the maximum sustained winds that decreased near 60 miles an hour with the forecast. Some fluctuations as straight will be possible while the center passes near the south of Baja California Peninsula tonight. And early Tuesday, weakening trend in this forecast to begin by Tuesday afternoon. The transfer force winds at 45 miles an hour from the center. Reports from the NOAA Hurricane Hunter aircraft indicate that the minimum center pressure is estimated to be 99 million miles and 29.5 inches. Rainfall, Javier is expected to produce total accumulations of 2 to 4 inches over Baja California. Coastal parts of Mexico States is still at 7:05 Wednesday morning. With possible outside maximum bands of 8 inches, those rates could cause life-threatening flash floods and mudslides. And winds from circulation are expected to be in the tropical storm warning area over the southern portion of the Baja California Peninsula later tonight. Also, conditions are possible wind and tropical storm watcher over the southern portion of the Baja California Peninsula on Tuesday. Alright, look at that. What it knows. Expecting today's high. Expecting the tank lows to be 54 to 65 degrees. And expecting tomorrow's highs to be 81 to 91 degrees. And I expected the Cape Town's highs to be 75 to 80 degrees. And for Fenway forecast, Red Sox and Yankees tomorrow 83 degrees at 7:10 p.m. and be a severe drop in the Boston Worcester opponents and up to the 7 New Hampshire, Maine. And precipitation chance Wednesday, Friday 6% and Thursday 4% chance. And I was seeing the brown grass in Northwoods Crescent and Taunton and out of Wheaton College North. See, that's what happens when we have a lack of rain and a severe drought. The grass is brown. Alright, look at that. Forecast discussion around region high pressure. Will bring dry and seasonable weather for Tuesday. It's built across New England and heads off to the coast. And settled weather times along with excessive heat and humidity expected from midway again for this weekend. On a Friday night, it's clear skies. Light winds will cool once again, resulting in patchy, fairly foggy and racial cool on the outside. Urban areas low 50s and low 60s on track. Alright, 7-day forecast goes like this. For tonight, clear skies about 58 degrees. Calm wind. For Tuesday, Saturday, skies about 80 degrees. Calm wind beginning at San Fran. 6 miles in the afternoon. Tonight, Petra after 4 a.m. was most coast cover at 6 degrees. South about 6 miles come after midnight. For Wednesday, Chester Charles, the test was possible at noon. Petra before 7 a.m. was most coast cover at 81 about 7 degrees. Chest patient is 45% for Thursday at 12%. Chester Charles, most coast cover at 91 about 73 degrees. For Friday at 35% Chester Charles, parts of the most coast cover at 90 about 7 degrees. For Saturdays and Sunday at 35 to 40% Chester Charles. Highest for Saturday be 91 and low 71, and Sunday's highs be 84, low about 68 degrees, and for Monday, check the Charles, most clouds about 82 degrees, just based at 40%. Peters with a phrase today, a terrific Tuesday and tap before the rains on Wednesday. Peters say a good night with a good positive tip. That's for the Peter channel. 11 o'clock news and it's late. Monday night, 8 for the Peters say good night, and I'll see you tomorrow morning with more report. Good night.